I never ever think to myself that I would be better at kendo if I had two arms. In fact, I'm sure I wouldn't have been as good as I am. Because I only had one arm, I worked harder than everybody else. Thanks to that, I've made it this far. If I had two arms, I'd never have considered practicing so hard. Takamiya's kendo instructor when he was young was Shosei Inada. He says he can never forget the way Takamiya used to get back on his feet again and again, no matter how many times he was knocked down. Inada says Takamiya wanted to make people forget that he had a handicap. If the strings of his chest protector started to get loose, I'd say to him, "Shall I tie them for you?" And he would answer, "I'm okay, I'll do it myself." I don't think I ever helped him to do that, not once. That's the kind of attitude he had as a kid. He hated to lose, and he wanted to prove he could do anything. To prepare for the upcoming tournament, Takamiya has been practicing hard. There are many nights when he can't sleep well. He's so tense. So to improve his mental strength, he embarks on a special intensive training program with his coach. If he is to achieve his dream of reaching the national meet, everything will depend on Takamiya's strength of spirit. The opening day of the regional tournament arrives. There are 230 students taking part, and only 32 of them will qualify for the national championships. Takamiya must make it past the third round to be among them. His very first bout goes into overtime. Finally, Takamiya lands an ippon blow on the right side of his opponent's forehead. His second bout also goes into overtime. And this time, Takamiya wins it with his trademark attack to the wrist. Having fought overtime in 2 consecutive bouts, Takamiya's left arm is already very tired. The longer his bouts continue, the more of a disadvantage he's at. His third round bout starts. These 5 minutes will decide whether or not he reaches the national championships. With the fatigue in his left arm, Takamiya comes under severe pressure. But he remains calm and smoothly evades his opponent's attacks. But he can't finish off the bout within the regulation 5 minutes. Yet again, he has to fight overtime. Takamiya's left arm is reaching its physical limit. He's forced back on the defensive and the bout drags on. But he remains confident that an opportunity will come. Be better today than you were yesterday, and then strive to become better still. Never lose your spiritual equilibrium. Cultivate a mentality that allows you to stay alert in every situation. Even as the overtime stretches on, Takamiya's concentration does not waver. Spotting a momentary opening in his opponent's defenses, Takamiya lands the ippon. The winning blow is his trademark strike to the wrist. Because all my bouts went to overtime, it was really hard. But I'm happy I made it through and qualify for the next level. It was a victory won thanks to his relentless training and unwavering spirit. This is Takamiya's old school in Kumamoto. He has just started working as a teacher. Nothing is impossible if you have belief in yourself. That is the message Takamiya wants to give his students.
片手でも
I think the reason that I've continued with Kendo up to now is that it's allowed me to do more than just compete with others on even terms, despite having only one arm. I believe that as long as you keep trying, anything's possible. And that's what I want to teach them. Takamiya's aim now is to inspire a new generation to share the spirit of Kendo.
Wow. Japan has numerous disciplines whose names end in do, do meaning way. Kendo, of course, is the way of the sword. Judo is the way of softness. Sado, literally the way of tea, is the study of the tea ceremony. Each of these disciplines has techniques which you need to master, but more than that, they're about learning a way of living or a way of being. Both Judo and Kendo can be considered sports nowadays, but their aim is for the practitioners to develop themselves and to develop a way of living. In that sense, Mr. Takamiya, who we just saw in the video, is a true Kendo practitioner in that he's trying to teach his students how to live and how to share his zest for life. Kendo certainly is a sport, but it's not just a sport. It's also becoming increasingly popular outside Japan these days, and we'll leave you with a look at that. I'll see you again next time.
Glasgow, Scotland. This was the venue for the 12th World Kendo Championships. The invited spectators included Britain's Queen Elizabeth. The first World Kendo Championships took place in 1970, and since then they've been held every 3 years. The number of nations taking part has grown to more than 40, including France, the United States and South Korea. France is one of the emerging powers in Kendo with more than 7,000 practitioners. Recently, a Kendo workshop was held in Bangkok, the capital of Thailand. Some 300 people attended from various parts of Asia, including many children. Kendo teaches manners, and it's useful for giving you mental focus. I hope it spreads further around Asia. Kendo is a sport that develops inner strength as well as physical skills. Now this traditional Japanese samurai spirit is starting to spread around the globe.